Hello students, welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMIS. I'm your verbal ability mentor Sanjana ma'am, and let's decode the logical and analytical reasoning section of the MHCT 5-year LLB sample paper 2. You must be already aware if you're an MHCT aspirant for the 5-year LLB exam, which is due to take place in the month of May, that MHCT came up with 6 of those mocks, right, for practice purposes itself. So, for the first practice paper, I've already uploaded 2 videos, one on the analysis of the English language section and the second one on the logical and analytical reasoning section. And this is a logical and analytical reasoning section analysis for the second sample paper. Having said that, let's start and take a look at the questions one by one. In total, we have 32 questions, all right. And on the whole, the level here in the practice paper is quite easy, but this in no way would be a solid guarantee of the level of difficulty of the actual section, all right. But what we can do is take our own lessons from it, maybe understand a certain number of topics that we feel we need to work hard in. Take a look at the first question. Now, this is a question based on series and a super easy question at that, right? Take a look at the sequence here. So it says 5 is the first term of the sequence, followed by an 11, which is then followed by a blank, for which we need to figure out the correct option, which is then followed by a 47. Now, if you actually notice a pattern here between two numbers, you'll understand that 5 into 2 plus 1 will give you 11. And similarly, 11 into 2 plus 1 will give you a 23. And similarly, a 23 into 2 plus 1 is going to give you a 47, and so on and so forth. So the correct term to come here would again be 23. I've already told you the solution, and it's not a very difficult question to solve. Take a look at the next question. So, a sudden increase in the demand for electric vehicles was observed last year. Which of the following is the most likely cause for the increase in demand? The price of gasoline significantly decreased. New government policies offered subsidies for electric vehicle purchases, which is actually something that can create a causal scenario here, right? So, if the government is already offering subsidies on electric vehicle purchases, then the demand for them is likely to go up. So, this is a very natural reason for it. In all likelihood, option B is the correct option choice. Public transportation becoming efficient and widespread is not really responsible for a direct increase in the demand for electric vehicles. Okay, the cost of electric vehicle batteries has increased, which might make it not so affordable. In fact, it might just lead to a reduction in the demand, right? So, this is wrong. The price of gasoline significantly decrease does not have any direct nexus to an increase in the demand for electric vehicles. Okay, so that being said, option A is wrong. Correct option choice is option B. Take a look at the next question, a very interesting question actually. So it says out of 4 friends, A, B, C, and D, A and B play football and cricket, right? And B and C play cricket and hockey. A and D play basketball and football. C and D play hockey and basketball. Now, which game do B, C, and D play? So let's look at the commonalities here. So we are saying that A and B play football and cricket. B and C play cricket and hockey. So something common between B and C is hockey. A and D play basketball and football. And when you take a look here, A and B and A and D, nowhere is, hockey, reflecting anywhere, wherever, A is playing a game. So A definitely is not playing hockey is something that we can understand. And then again, between C and D, the common game here is hockey itself. So the combined, game that all B, C, and D play would be hockey, right? It's not something which you will be able to get answers to through set theory in case you think set theory here is at play. But it's a very easy question. I think when you read it and you apply the right sort of logic, you'll be able to arrive at the correct option choice. Next question. Statement conclusion is the topic. The Industrial Revolution is credited with ushering in the modern era. So, which of the following conclusion follows? Disparity between rich and poor results in revolution? Not necessarily, right? Not necessarily, right? So, cancel one. Statement one is the wrong conclusion, which means we can cancel this, we can cancel this, we can cancel this. Revolution overhauls society. Overhauls is like a complete change, right, in the societal structure. So it's only fair to conclude that revolution does overhaul the society, which is why industrial revolution ushered in the modern era. So only conclusion 2 follows. Next question, again super easy, very interesting. These questions are so fun to solve, right? So it said Z, X, V, T, what is the next term to come? If I just simply write here P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. You see, Z, right? And you skip one term before it, reaches X, X becomes a V becomes a T, and finally T will become an R. And there you have the correct option choice, right? It's better to solve it in this way. It's much more quicker rather than just sort of revising everything on your fingertips here, okay? Next question, blood relations. Now, P plus Q means P is husband of Q. P divided by Q means P is sister of Q. P into Q means P is son of Q. So, how is D related to A? In D, all right. When we say D into B, right, what does it mean? That D is the son of B, right? So, here D is the son of B. And B plus C is B is the husband of C. So, B is the husband of C. And clearly, C is the wife, and at the same time, C is the mother of D, right? And C upon A means C is the sister of A, right? So C is the sister of A. Now, we do not exactly know the gender of A, but one thing that we do know for sure is that D is A's nephew. Therefore, option D is the best option choice. Let's take a look at the next question. Now, from 2001 to 2100, how many years have 29 days in February? Now, this question is asking you to figure out the number of leap years between 2001 and 2100, right? Now, I'm going to tell you a quick formula, which is that of arithmetic progression. Just understand that the next leap year after 2001 or from 2001 would be 2004, and the last leap year just before 2100 would be 2096. All right. Now, keep one point in mind that the common difference here, which means the next leap year after 2004 would be 2008. So, that's a gap, right, of 4 years is 4. And the formula here would be 2096, right, is 2004, the first year, plus n minus 1 and 4. And this gives us a 2096 minus 2004 plus 4, right, which exactly is going to give us 96 is equal to 4n. Therefore, the total number of years, leap years, within the duration that's given to us would come to a 24, making D the best option choice. Next question. Most of the teachers are talented. So, what can be concluded from this? Some teachers are talented is something which we can definitely conclude. It's the most suitable and appropriate conclusion to follow from this sentence. What is wrong with B is no teachers are there who are not talented. Now, that actually becomes a little too extreme. It's a very strong statement to affirm. Some of the teachers are those who have low intelligence. Now, talent and intelligence are two different things. In this particular sentence, we're only talking about talent. So cancel A because it is out of context. All teachers are talented. Well, there is a difference in terms of the degree, right, between most and all. Most means the majority, but all means each and everybody, which is not given. So this will actually distort the meaning of the original sentence. So correct option choice is option A. Next question, super simple, right? So it says table is written as V, C, D, N, G. So basically, students, T plus just add two more letters to it. A plus add two more letters to it. B plus add two more letters to it, right? Because A, when you add two letters to it, it gives you a C. B, when you add two letters to it, will give you a D, so on and so forth. So similarly, you have to code chair, right? Very simple. We already know A becomes a C, right? C, D, E, this becomes an E. H, I, G, G, H, I, J, right? E, J, C. And the correct option has to begin from this, which luckily is only given in option A. And obviously, you should just do a thorough verification, write down the other letters also, but the exact answer is going to come as option A. Next question. Please learn clocks and calendars properly because they have given a couple of questions from, the concept of clocks and calendars, and the other one is your leap year. Okay. So a clock shows the time as 2:30 p.m. So how many degrees is the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand? The exact answer is going to be 105 degrees, right? When you take a look at the minute hand, right? So the minute hand rotates 360 degree, right, in 60 minutes, right, which actually means in 1 minute it moves 6 degrees, right, and therefore in 30 minutes it rotates 180 degrees. Now, when we talk about the hour hand, right, when I'm talking about the hour hand moves 360 degrees, right, in 12, which means in 1 hour, the hour hand moves 360 divided by 12, which is 30 degree. And therefore, in 2.5, right, in 2.5 hours, it will rotate 30 into 2 plus 30 into 0.5. So that's a 60 plus 15, which is 75 degrees. So the degree of the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand would come to 180 degrees minus 75 degrees, which will give you 105. This is how you need to solve this particular problem. Take a look at the next question. It was Sunday on January 1st, 2006. Then what was the day on January 1st, 2010? Now understand we have Jan 2006, we have Jan 2007, we have 2008, we have 2009, and finally we have 2010. Now on Jan of, 1, 2006, it was a Sunday. And understand that every year has a total of 52 weeks plus 1 day, right? Except for your leap year, which will have 52 weeks plus 2 days. Now, there is only one leap year, which is 2008. You add 1 day here, right? You add 2 days here. You add 1 day from 2006 as well. And you add 1 day from 2009 as well, right? You don't have to really factor in 2010 because we have to calculate the day on January 1st, 2010. So, total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days you have to add to this Sunday, right? So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the correct answer will be Friday here. Next question. Should college students be allowed to participate in politics? Yes, it helps them understand how the government functions, which is a very solid argument. So statement 1 is definitely a strong argument. No, it distracts them from the studies. Now, it's a personal choice also. It's a very individual thing as to, who gets distracted by indulging in politics. And politics inherently is not so distracting, right? So cancel 2. 2 is a weak argument. If 2 is a weak argument, you can cancel option 1, which is option A, and you can cancel option D. Yes, it encourages leadership qualities in students, which is always a given, right? So 1 and 3 are actually strong arguments. Option C is the best option choice. It can create unnecessary conflicts among students. Politics inherently again does not lead to conflicts, right? It again is a very individual choice. It's an individual thing which differs from case to case. All right, let's take a look at this question. In a group of animals, we are saying all cats are mammals. Now, if I really have to draw the syllogisms here represented Venn diagrammatically, all cats are mammals. This is what we get, right? And in the other case, this is what we get. Some mammals are carnivores, right? So carnivores I'm abbreviating as CR, right? And it says all carnivores are hunters. So this is what I get, right? Let's take a look at the options and see which conclusion logically follows. All cats are hunters. Now, all cats are hunters again is a very extreme statement. You can infer it from this particular diagram, but not from here. So it's extreme and definitely not something that would logically follow. Some cats are hunters is not given, although I still feel as far as this diagram which I have drawn properly, right? From this particular diagram, you still can't infer some cats are hunters, but I would still park this option because when you read into these statements logically also, and when you sort of, correlate them with each other, you'll understand that some cats are hunters. You can definitely infer. All hunters are mammals, again, very extreme. All mammals are carnivores, again, is very extreme. From a mere look at this diagram, you'll understand that this itself is wrong. So best option choice through elimination, I feel, becomes option B here in this particular case. Next question. Astronomy is to stars as geology is to the study of Earth. So option D, super easy question on analogy. Now arrange the following in a meaningful logical order. You begin with the finger and then we have the palm, 5, 2, and then we have the wrist. So we get 5, 2, 4, 3, 1, which is option A. Very simple question again. Complete the series, the 3 branches of the government, the state, legislative, executive, and judiciary, option A. Next question. Pointing to a woman, Amit said, she is the daughter of the only son of my grandfather, right? So, daughter of the only son of my grandfather. She is the daughter of my father, which means, how is the woman related to Amit? She is Amit's sister. Option is the best option choice. Which of the following is a correct rule for determining a leap year? Now, you need to have solid knowledge of this. So, a leap year is a year which is divisible by 4, but at the same time, you have to ensure that it is not divisible by 100 unless it is divisible by 400, and the best option choice here becomes option D. Take a look at this question. Very fun and very easy to solve. DOP is blue, FOP stands for red, and LOP stands for green. Adding tick at the end of a word makes it mean dark. So dark green would be LOP, and you add a tick at the end, which is given in option C, making it the correct option choice. Next is a question which is based on time and work. Because this is already given there in the questions, it's only fair that you practice this properly. I'm going to use the LCM method here. We have Ramesh, we have Suresh, and we have Kanha. Let's assume that they do 60 units of work in total, right? I have simply taken the LCM for 10, 12, and 15, right? So LCM here is 60 here, all right? And that way, Ramesh would do, let's say, 6 units every day, and Suresh will do 5 units every day, and Kana will do 15 units, not 15, but 60 divided by 15 is 4 units every day. So every day they are performing 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15 units of the work. So how many days is it going to take for them to complete 60 units of work? Simply divide 60 by 15, that gives you a 4, making C the best option choice. Next question. Employing children under the age of 14 is illegal and punishable by law. So, which of the following is an implicit assumption here? Children under the age of 14 are not mature enough to work. Now, something that's punishable by law, something that is made illegal, is not always based on determining somebody's maturity, right? Maturity is a very subjective element, right? It can vary depending on somebody's age. It does not automatically mean that somebody who's 14 or 15 is not mature enough. So this is not the rightful justification for making something punishable by law, right? We have to look at something which is more substantial in nature. The law aims to protect children's right and promote their education, right? This is a correct assumption, which is why it's been made punishable by law, and it protects their right from getting discriminated, right? It prevents them from being, meted out, discriminatory behavior. All right, so B is the best option choice here. Child labor negatively impacts the physical and mental health. Something being made punishable by law on the basis of, how it can impact somebody's mental health is slightly of a vague, assumption here. So it's slightly out of context. So cancel C. Children above the age of 14 are allowed to work under certain conditions, which is not an assumption. It's a different scenario that we're trying to bring in here. Option B, therefore, is the most suitable option choice. All right, this again is going to be very easy. This is a person, he starts from this point, he walks 5 kilometers north, then he turns to his right, walks for 3 kilometers, and again turns to his right and walks for 5 kilometers. When you look from here to this direction, this person has actually moved east. Therefore, correct option choice is option A, east. Next question. The government has decided to increase the tax on luxury goods. A suitable assumption here would be people may reduce the purchase of luxury goods. I'll tell you why. The government will earn more revenue from the increased tax. Now, the thing is, if they increase the tax on luxury goods, it's going to have two things. One is that people might be discouraged from buying because obviously the price goes up automatically, right? And at the same time, if the price goes up, the purchases will reduce and it might not necessarily bring the government increased revenue. The revenue can increase, it may decrease, or it may remain the same. So the government will earn more revenue from the increased tax is the wrong assumption. Luxury goods are mostly purchased by the wealthy is a very common misconception, but it's not the suitable assumption here. And the quality of luxury goods, increasing the tax, decreasing the tax on something does not, automatically makes or impacts the quality of a certain good. It actually depends on other factors. So rightfully, the best option choice here becomes option A, right? I have explained to you why the rest of the options are long. A is the best one here. All right, again, super simple question. Rohit is coded as, right, PQRSTMNOP, right, and HIIJ and TU. Similarly, Mohit will be coded as, right, because we know that HIT has already been coded as IJU. We know that the last word has to end like this. And this is as an easy question. You can obviously, decode M and O here as well. But I told you a much quicker way to solve this. Option E here is correct. Next question is a nice question actually, very logical. Alcoholics are affected by cancer. Actually means that alcohol may cause cancer. Many of the cancer patients are alcoholics, right? It says alcoholics are affected by cancer, right? But you can't say that many of the cancer patients are alcoholics. They could be cancer patients because of some genetic issue as well. So cancel it. Most of the alcoholics may be affected by cancer. Again, that is not to say that all alcoholics are affected by cancer, right? Again, quantifying it in the absence of enough data would be the wrong thing to do. Alcohol always, again, you're just trying to be very strong with the words here. B is the more suitable option choice. Pointing to a man, Meera said, he is the son of my grandfather's only son. So this person to whom Meera is pointing in the portrait is actually the son of Meera's father, which makes the son her brother, right? So this is how the man is related to Meera. What comes next in the series? 2 plus 2, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 4, and 11 plus 5. That gives you 16. All of these questions are so solvable. Very quick solves, all of these. Should schools have a compulsory uniform policy? All right. Which of the following arguments are strong in support of the statement? Yes, because it promotes equality, which is a very important attribute to make it a strong argument. No, because it restricts students' freedom of expression, but not necessarily, right? Freedom of expression is again a very personal, individual, subjective choice. And the fact that, if you make a uniform compulsory and that it's going to burn a hole in the pockets of the parents is slightly far-fetched. It might not necessarily be the case. Statement 4 is definitely a weak argument because it helps in maintaining discipline. One of the very reasons why we have to, go to the school, especially with our clothes, iron and all, is also something that pretty much tells us why statement 3 is a solid argument here. So 1 and 3 are strong. Option C. Identify the next element in the series. So pretty easy, A plus 2, C plus 2, E plus 2, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So the next letter to come would be in option B, I. Love, hate are antonyms of each other. Similarly, respect would be the opposite of insult here, right? Not attached, not care, not closeness, but insult. Option A. A very easy question and analogy. I think previously also we solved one question and analogy, a very simple one, which was, I think, related to astronomy and stars and geology and all. Next question. Should online education be promoted in rural areas? Yes, because it can provide access to quality education resources that are not available locally. Now, the question is, should this online education be promoted? Which, when you read statement 1 is a very strong argument. No, because the internet infrastructure in rural areas is not well developed, then it's okay. We're going to take care of that. But that does not automatically, withhold us from promoting online education. If it should be promoted, especially when it's going to have very positive benefits for the society, then why not go ahead with it, right? The lack of infrastructure should not be a hindrance anyway. We can always take care of that, making statement 2 a weak argument. It can reduce the cost of education and transportation, which again is a decent argument to make. Ideally, if I had to make a choice between 1 and 3, I would have gone with 1. But here we have been given combinations, right? So 1 and 3 are strong. Option B is the best option choice because traditional classroom teaching is more effective. Now, there is no consensus per se. There is no proof that traditional classroom teaching has to necessarily be more effective than online learning. So fourth is also a weak argument at that. Option B is the best one. And the last question is, it should have come in the beginning, but I have included it at the end. So again, it's the same scenario which was given earlier. I think it was question 4 or 5. A, B, C, and D are 4 friends. A and B play football and cricket. B, C play cricket and hockey. A and D play basketball and football. C and D play hockey and basketball. Who does not play hockey? Now take a look here. A and B together play football and cricket, which means A and B can play either cricket or football or both. There are multiple ways to interpret it, but one thing we know for sure is that A does not play hockey. Why? Because even when you take a look here, A and D, they again do not play hockey. Like A is not playing hockey is what we understand from these two statements. The rest do not really talk about A. So who does not play hockey becomes A. Because here also B and C play hockey, and then C and D also play hockey. So B, C and D play hockey anyway. So the friend that does not play hockey is A. Option D is the best option choice. So students, with this, we're done with the analysis of the logical reasoning section of the sample paper. In case you have any doubts, please feel free to reach out in the comment section. And even if you have doubts, the GetSet team is here to help you. That's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.